Welcome to State of Affairs. I'm Steve Adubato. In fact, we are coming to you from the Agnes Varus NJ-TV studio in Newark, New Jersey. It is my honor to introduce Adele LaTourette, director of an organization called Hunger Free New Jersey, formerly known as?
New Jersey Anti-Hunger Coalition.
What's the deal with the name change, first of all?
We felt it was time for a name change to really reflect our solutions-based approach to ending hunger in New Jersey, and really making sure that every person in New Jersey who's hungry has access to healthy food.
How bad is the hunger problem?
Well, it's bad. I mean, it's not getting better the way it should be when you look at the unemployment numbers, certainly federally. I think what we are seeing is a lot of underemployment, and New Jersey is a very high-cost state, as I'm sure you know.
It's interesting. So the high cost of living in New Jersey directly correlates to the serious hunger problem?
Absolutely. When you have to spend your money on getting to and from work, on gas, it's about having to make a choice with a limited budget.
It's interesting. I often wonder about the role of government here. State government, federal government. What is the role, first of all, the state government and then the federal government in dealing with hunger-related issues, including food insecurity, which we'll talk about in a second? Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's impossible to underplay the role of both the federal and state government. Basically, the federal government has nutrition programs that are focused on addressing the issue of hunger, and then the state administers them. And I think we are certainly, with this administration, moving in a direction where we can really expand access to federal food.
This administration, do you mean the Trump administration?
At the state
or
level.
the Governor Phil Murphy administration?
Governor Phil Murphy administration.
Explain that to us. What is it that you see in the Phil Murphy administration that causes you to say, hey, there's an opportunity here?
What I see and what I hear in talking to officials in the administration is they are focused on, they have the same goals as advocates. So they want to make sure that SNAP is accessible to as many people.
SNAP stands for?
Food stamps. Is it accessible to people as it can be? So we have some policy decisions we can make at the state level to do that. They are looking, we just had school breakfast legislation passed. So we have a mandate now.
What is that? Explain that. So there's a school breakfast mandate. Governor Murphy signed the school breakfast bill on May 31st. What does it do?
What it does is it mandates that schools that have 70% or more free or reduced price children in their schools serve breakfast after the bell. And that's really critical because you have to make sure you're serving breakfast when kids are in school.
What happened before that was signed?
We had a lot of schools serving breakfast before the bell, and we have a lot of unserved kids as a result of that.
What's your concern, Adele, about the Trump administration, the federal government, and their commitment or lack thereof as it relates to the issues you're talking about right now?
Our big concern now is the Farm Bill.
The Farm Bill.
The Farm Bill, which reauthorizes SNAP, also known as food stamps. The House version of that bill was disastrous. We would have lost 35,000 SNAP participants in New Jersey from the program.
How? Why?
Because of work requirements, because of a change in how they calculate gross income. It's a bunch of kind of in-the-weeds stuff, but it would have been really a bad thing. So they're going through reconciliation now with the Senate version, and we're hoping for a better bill.
What do you sense in the administration, the Trump administration, as it relates to the degree of interest, empathy, and or commitment to helping those who are struggling with hunger every day?
I see all of those things lacking. I think they don't want to see people in need. They don't want to see people who are poor. They don't want to see the fact that working people can't make ends meet.
Well, they would want to help them then.
Well, no, if they don't see them, they don't want to help them because they're going to pretend that they're not there.
Well, you can't pretend they're not there. They're there.
I agree. But when you're talking about, it's the realities of people's incomes and really what people are seeing or people are struggling with. And the inability to see that means you're unable to respond.
One more question on this. Is there something about New Jersey, not just the high cost of living here, anything else about New Jersey that makes the hunger problem unique and more challenging here?
Unique and more challenging. I think transportation issues certainly in the southern part of the state in terms of being able to find work. I think living wage, we need to focus on increasing our minimum wage. 70% of SNAP recipients work, but they're not making enough to make ends meet.
Hold on, if the minimum wage was increased to $15 an hour, first of all, what do you think that would do as it relates to helping those who are struggling with food-related issues?
I think it would help. I think the problem you're going to get into there is that what happens is when people make more money, even though they're not making enough to live, they potentially lose, they fall off the benefit cliff. So they could potentially lose SNAP. So things have to be rearranged to really focus on supporting working people at all levels.
By the way, if you watch State of Affairs on a regular basis, Steve Adubato here, Adele LaTourette, who heads up an organization called Hunger Free New Jersey. If you watch State of Affairs on a regular basis, you do know that we have those, particularly in the business community, who argue that they're not against a $15 an hour minimum wage, but they're extremely concerned about what it would do if that happened and what it would do to consumer prices, what it would do to potential jobs of others in terms of businesses making ends meet. We'll continue having that discussion as well. Real quick before I let you go, Adele, concerned about hunger-related issues for college students?
Absolutely. We're working with Department of Human Services and New Jersey Community College Association to try and figure out how we can work together to expand access to SNAP for college students. College hunger has become a large issue.
Why don't we talk about this?
I think people don't understand it. People don't understand that kids have to pay for books and they're on limited incomes and they can't afford. We have homeless college students and hungry college students.
Homeless college students?
Absolutely.
Document it.
Yeah, we have a pantry in Bergen Community College.
How do they go to school? How do they do well?
How do they struggle? At every level, they struggle. That's how they do.
Adele LaTourette, Steve Adubato here, State of Affairs. Don't be a stranger. Come back.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Take care, Steve.
Be right back right after this.
State of Affairs with Steve Adubato is a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. State of Affairs with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Agnes Veris NJTV studio at 2 Gateway. Funding has been provided by PSE&G, the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, Suez, Verizon, Holy Name Medical Center in Teaneck, New Jersey, Seton Hall University, Fedway Associates, and by these public-spirited organizations, individuals, and associations committed to informing New Jersey citizens about the important issues facing the Garden State, and by Employers Association of New Jersey.